Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Commentary is by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So we are currently on chapter number 2, and yesterday we had completed shloka number 26, where Lord said, even if you consider the self as subject to ceaseless births and deaths, you should not grieve. Although the self is immortal, but Lord is using a counter argument to further clarify to Arjuna. So we start from shloka 27. Lord says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad pariharye arthe na tvam shocitum. So God says, death is certain for that which is born, and birth is certain for that which dies. For this unavoidable fact, you should not grieve. So here God is using the counter argument and telling Arjuna, since something is supposed to happen anyway, you cannot change it, you cannot control it, it does come, so why grieve over it? It is simply nature playing its role. Shloka number 28, Lord continues, Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktam madhyadi bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. O Bharata, these bodies consisting of the elements were not visible before birth, and they will not be visible after their death. They manifest in between birth and death. Therefore, why should you grieve? So, again, God is reminding us that we didn't exist before, we won't exist later. So, all this that we are even seeing now, as much real as it appears, is actually unreal. So don't grieve. Shloka number 29. Ascharyavat pashyati kashchidenam ascharyavat dvati tathaiva chanyaha ascharyavat chainamanyah shrunoti shrutvaप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. So Lord further explains that some behold the self as a wonder, some talk about it with amazement, and others talk about the self with wonder. And yet, having heard about the self, none are able to comprehend it. Comprehend the self, because it is such a mystical, um, deep concept. It is God's personal journey that He wants us all to go through and achieve it through self realization. So, it is possible for us to get there to understand the self, but till we get there, it remains a perplexing mystery, even for the biggest scientists and all our education and all our logic. Our senses are simply incapable of comprehending that deep mystic science. This is what God is explaining here. Shloka number 30. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani na tvam shocitum. O Bharata, the eternal self that dwells in the bodies of human beings cannot be slain. Therefore, you should not grieve for any living being. This God had also discussed in the previous shloka, but here he is simply reminding Arjuna of that deep concept. because we tend to forget this deep mystery. Therefore, God continues to guide us. Shloka number 31. स्वधर्मपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याधियुद्धात् श्रेयो अन्यत्तक्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते. Lord says, further, having understood this to be your true duty, you should not waver. There is nothing more blessed for a Kshatriya than a righteous war. So, here Lord Krishna is emphasizing the role of our duty that we have. Every one of us has to do tasks, and Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and a Kshatriya's role is to protect the country, to fight when needed, and therefore that is his duty. Shloka number 32. Yada Yadrachya chopannam swargadwaram pavritam sukhinah kshatriya partha labhante yuddhamidrisham. So here Lord says, fortunate are the Kshatriyas, O Partha, Arjuna, who encounter such an opportunity as this great battle which presents itself before you is an open gate to heaven. Meaning, God is saying, if you do your duties properly, and that is your duty, a righteous war, because Arjuna was on the side of righteousness, not a wrong war, not unrighteous. So he was protecting his rights, and therefore his war was justified and needed. And when you die in such a war, you attain the glory of the heavens. That's what God is guiding Arjuna. Shloka number 33. Atha chetvamimam dharmam sangramam na karishyasi ततः स्वधर्मकीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि. So Lord says, on the other hand, if you do not fight this righteous battle, you will be deprived of both your swadharma and your fame, and thus incur sin. Now look at this. How paradoxical indeed. Arjuna is thinking he will commit sin if he fights the war, and here Lord Krishna is guiding him that you will commit sin if you don't fight the war. Completely opposite to Arjuna's views. And this is why a guru is needed, a teacher is needed, a guide is needed, because our intellect confuses us. It assumes the role of the guru. It thinks it knows everything, but it doesn't. Imagine a guide who is trying to take you on a journey that he himself is not sure of. That will be a miserable experience, because every step will be full of challenges, because he doesn't know, he hasn't been through it, he has no experience. Therefore, guides and teachers and masters are needed, but the real guides, not the fake ones. And this is where Arjuna has found the ultimate student and the ultimate teacher are together, guiding souls like us. We are Arjuna, and when a proper guru comes, he is Krishna. That is the mystical impact here. And so God is clearly telling Arjuna, hey Arjuna, you will be committing sin if you shirk your responsibilities. So no point sitting in a temple trying to do mala japa while our child is hungry. For example, or we don't do our duties that we have been assigned. That is the deeper meaning. Moving on to Shloka 34. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayashyanti te avyayam sambhavitasya chakirtir maranadatirichyate. Through the ages, people will speak of your infamy. For one who has earned so much fame, infamy is worse than death. Meaning, ninda. Ninda means um, saying bad words, saying that Arjuna was a coward. He got scared. He didn't want to fight. He saw how brave our army was and he got chicken hearted, in other words. So, Lord Krishna is now using psychology to remind Arjuna, who is such a grand warrior, that if you have infamy or you'll be ashamed and you are such a hero, and for such people, for people who are very righteous and glorious, for them when you are defamed, that is equal to death, sometimes worse than death. He continues, shloka number 35. भयाद्राणादुपरतं मन्स्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम्. Here Krishna says, the great chariot warriors will think that you turned away from this battle out of fear. Those who hold you in high esteem will look down upon you. So, more elaborating here, same Lord Krishna is um, confirming that if you don't fight, the people don't know, your enemies don't know your logic. They will just think you became fearful, got scared, and ran away. Shloka number 36. Avachya vadanscha bahun vidashyanti tavahitaha nindat त्वस्त्व सामर्थ्यम ततो दुःखतरं नु किम. Your enemies will speak disgraceful words against you. They will ridicule your heroism. What can be more painful than this? Shloka number 36. So we will start from shloka number 37 in tomorrow's satsang. So I hope you can see how each shloka is filled with divine wisdom. One or two shlokas are enough to change our life. What to speak if we study it in a dedicated manner. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.